Hey, here a little early, y'all. What's happening? I saw that Ronnie Shellis got the OBS software finally working for him. I can't figure out how to do that. It is so hard, but it makes live streaming, especially for music, so much better. So we're still a little early. I guess a couple of people had a hard time finding the link. It's on Patreon. If you go to Patreon, it's pinned at the top. It says patrons only Q&A after Free Friday. I think so. Most of you, so guys, everybody just clicked that link, right? And they came here. Is that what happened? And it worked? Because I'm curious. This is the first official live patrons only Q&A. Okay, good, Travis. Thank you, bro. That's really good news. So I figured out how to do this. So now we're going to do a lot more of this because sometimes the Q&As on YouTube, there's too many questions for me to really answer them. And this is a good way to do that. And also sometimes even on Patreon, like I get overwhelmed by the amount of comments and typing like an answer to each one of them would take a lot longer than just talking about it. And it wouldn't be as much fun, right? I could probably, I'll say the real thing if I get to talk. If I have to type, I might shorten it and miss a good point. All right, so we're going to wait a couple minutes for some more people to come in. Hey, Colin, CK in the house. So also, guys, Patreon patrons, October the 22nd at 11 a.m. Central Time, we're going to have a Zoho meeting. So that's like a Zoom, and CK has been kind enough to host it. So we're going to be putting that link up soon. Oh, by the way, CK, the lesson that I canceled with you, I thought it was today. I thought it was yesterday. So next Thursday, bro, we're good. So just write me on Skype and we'll reaffirm that that's going to happen. All right. So yeah, actually speaking of that, so next Free Friday, CK had the idea that he wanted to do a live lesson with me. So, it won't be really live. What it'll be is him and I are going to record a lesson, me doing a lesson with him. And then we're going to put it up on Free Friday and you guys can write in the comment section. So that'll be completely different Free Friday, right? It'll be totally crazy. Oh man, thanks, Norlando. Appreciate it, bro. All right, let's see. What time on the 22nd, Travis? That'll be 11 a.m. There will be no costs to get involved. That your cost is that you're a Patreon patron. So, and the deal with that too, right, is it's not going to be like a big instructional thing. Like, 11 a.m. Central, New Orleans time. It's not going to be a big instructional thing. What we're going to do is what I would like anyway is for it to be as little about me as possible and more about us getting to know each other, see each other, talk, share experiences, talk about the videos, talk about ideas, talk about where everybody's from, how they came to find the channel, how they got interested in music and harmonica, all that kind of stuff. So, oh yeah, Brad, you got your floss and brushing teeth down so you can play. I just have like a separate set of harps that I use, right? So I can still drink coffee and everything. But yeah, the Zoho/Zoom, Zoho's, from as far as I understand from what CK told me, is what CK just wrote is the 13th. Yeah, so the 13th is good for me, bro. I thought it was yesterday. Sorry. All right. Yeah. So that Zoho Zoom thing is just going to be like us hanging out together. And I just want to like everybody to talk, right? I don't Let's have fun and like get to know each other. All right. Andrew Parker said you should have people submit videos of them playing and chat about them. Maybe on the next one. Like the first one, like it's hard enough, Andrew, to like get the Zoom together and everything like that, much more to like pick up the videos and broadcast them and stuff. Like I'm still getting used to some of this technology. And actually, I don't really even have to get used to it. Colin CK is doing most of that. So I'm grateful to him for that going and happening. All right, I guess I was hoping Lynn would get here. Is she here? I don't know if she's here or not. I sent her the link. She was having trouble getting in. All right, so let's kind of just okay, Steve 61. Yeah, well, I'm glad you remembered about it. Yeah, hopefully. I knew it was going to be small. We got 10 folks in here. All right, and I was hoping it would be. I'm going to answer some of the questions, and we'll post the live stream on Patreon after. So people that missed the live stream will be able to come here and see their questions answered. So before you guys start asking any questions in the chat box, let me first go back to Patreon now and answer some of the questions. Now, some of the questions are the ones that were in the video ideas for this Free Friday that didn't make it. So let's just go through there. That's going to take a while. And if you guys can hang with me for a minute, I'm going to handle some of those questions first. So I'm back over on Patreon now, and I'm going back down to Free Friday ideas. Okay. So Travis had asked, he said, I wanted to do a Q&A. Well, we didn't do a Q&A on YouTube, but here's the Q&A, Travis. So it was you that started this, the first Patreon only, patrons only Q&A. So that was you. So that was me, because you wrote that, because you were the first to comment, because it's been a while since we've done a Q&A. And here's the thing, the Q&As don't go over as well on YouTube with the general public. They like the short, concise lessons. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop doing them on YouTube. It just means that this one is for us and it's easier. Okay, so Bradley Fielden said, I've learned loads over the years and finally became a patron. I hope to give a little back more in the future. Bro, it doesn't matter. I'm just glad you're giving something. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of our community. I enjoy watching you go through your harmonicas and what you've done to them. Front porch playing, and if you'd like to do more Zydeco. All right. So yeah, on the subject of why I don't do harmonica tune-up videos. So I would really need a separate camera person. I would need to get Kate to come in and film this. The lighting would have to be great. And the other thing is, I'm sure that somebody will blame me for how they messed up their harmonicas. There's a lot of other videos on there. Hey, what's up, Lynn? Oh, all right. Okay, now you got it. All right. There's a lot of other videos on how to work on harmonicas, right? So I don't know if I need to make an extra one, but maybe someday I will. All right. On the Zydeco thing, I don't know if Bradley, if you've seen that I do have some stuff on like Zydeco. It kind of falls under the major pentatonic. So that's just the 1/4 split inhale, tongue blocking, right? And then the 2 and 5 blow split. It's a little out of tune. Sorry, I'll fix it later. And then the 3/6 blow split. That's also out of tune. So it's good to start with that. Here, I'll just grab a C harp. So right. So those are the last 3 notes of the major pentatonic. And you can really play an entire Zydeco blues just on those 3 notes. So if I wanted to play on the 1, I could play the 1 and 4 draw split, or obviously the 3/6. So if I want to play on the 4, I can play the 2/5, or no, that's it. And, oh, no, or the 3/6. That's the 5 of 4, right? Is that right? Yeah. And then on the 5, I can play there, right there. So I'll play a whole blues Zydeco on just those 3 notes. Right. So, it's amazing, right? Once you learn these arpeggios, right, you don't have to do the whole arpeggio. You can just pick the notes, 1 note from each chord. It might be the root, it might be the 3rd, it might be the 5th, might be the 6th or the 7th if you're learning that. So again, maybe go back and check out some of those arpeggiating videos, and then like whether or not you do it as a country music or jazz or blues or Zydeco, that's all in how you play it. But the changes, the math, the science, if you will, of the arpeggios is the same regardless of what the genre of music is. All right. Let's go to the next question. I'm so long-winded. Khalid Ashore asks, you've touched on this in several videos indirectly, but it would be nice if there were a dedicated video approaching chord changes outside of the blues context. Okay. So there's a lot more there. He says so much content is out there is focused on playing blues and how to navigate those changes in a 12-bar, 8-bar, 16-bar, 1/4/5 context. How do you approach playing a song with unknown chord changes or other styles of music? I've seen you post videos playing over more jam band or pop style progressions. What do you approach playing a song like that? Okay, so there's a lot of questions here. I'll go through them as much as I can. He says, do you focus more on a scale or building a hook or theme? Yeah, that's right. Do you take a lick and play it every way you can think of? Sometimes. Do you try to work out the chord changes and match them? Yes. Okay, so let me answer that again. Okay, so much content out there is focused on playing blues and how to navigate those chord changes. Okay, so that's just, so Khalid, that's just a map. Right? The blues changes are just a single map. But once you learn them and you learn, okay, I learn to arpeggiate, I learn what scales work over these chords, you can do that with any chord changes. So we teach the blues because it's simple. It's a simple American format. And a lot of music besides blues goes 1/4/5 or in some order or another. Okay. So just by learning that, that's good. And then if the song goes to the 2 instead of the 4, well, then just learn a 2-chord arpeggio, right? Where's the 1, the 3, and the 5? So you got to learn maybe different positions or how to play a major scale in 4th, or just thinking about it, right? So you can definitely do it on your own. Now, so why haven't I made videos on approaching other styles of music? Well, because there's not very many other styles of music that have a set group of chord changes. Blues is really the only one that does. So if I were to make a video on I did the 2/5/1 changes, right? Or sometimes I've done some gospel changes or quick 4s or quick 5s, right? I've done that kind of stuff in videos, but which one would I do, right? Because I would just have to do a different song every week, right? So how would I do that? Well, the same way I navigate blues changes. I look at the changes, I find out what they are, I find out where the root note is of the change that I'm unfamiliar with. And then I find out, okay, well, where's the 3rd, where's the 5th? Is there a scale that starts on this root note? Is it in 4th position? Is it in 5th position? That kind of thing. And then just go from there. So I don't know, I really hope that this doesn't seem dismissive of that question. It's just such a broad thing because it's just music. So all you have to do is look at the change, right? And figure it out the same way we look at a 1/4/5 change. everything that I'm telling you about 1, 4, and 5 will apply to a 6, a third, a 2, whatever the change is. Okay. So anyway, I hope that makes a little bit of sense for brother Khaled. All right. Lisa Preslin said, "I'm learning." Now this question was answered really, really well by Jason O'Sullivan. She said, "I am learning tongue blocking and want to know how to best be a hybrid player. I'm getting stuck on whether to tongue block on 4 and above, or as I'm finding tongue block on the 3 to 2. It's all confusing. Help any appreciate it." So I'm not going to read Jason O'Sullivan's response to Lisa, but I will say that I really liked his response. Okay. And I'm probably going to end up parroting it anyway. It will, Lisa, if you're watching, it will totally happen naturally for you. In different styles of music, you're going to want a tongue block. You're going to like think it sounds better. And then other times you're going to go, oh, I think this sounds better. So I guess basically what I'm saying, and a lot of what Jason was saying, is really kind of don't worry about it. Just, tongue block the stuff that you think sounds good, tongue blocking, and try to get comfortable with that, and lip purse the things that you think sound good lip pursing. And that may change over time. You may make a decision later in life. Oh, I think this actually does sound better tongue blocked, right? Let me see what. Guys, I'm going to get to your questions, okay, in a minute. Let me get back to the Patreon thing. So yeah, like there's a lot of things that I used to lip purse that I now tongue block, and not many things that I used to tongue block that I now lip purse. It's really the other way around. All right, let me see. Yeah, so just give it time and it'll absolutely make sense for you. I think there's a lot of pressure on the internet and there's a lot of opinions about what people should do. I really try to stay kind of unopinionated on what you guys should do, other than practice, right? And also be nice to yourself, right? Like that's a big thing. Like I think and be patient and forgiving and kind, and remember that like we all go through this, that like I struggle the same way that you guys do, that Ronnie does, that all of these people, right? That's what makes us human and together, All right, Doom Light the Drone. What a name. He says, yo, Jason, how about to cover the topic of changing volume? I mean, how to make fading volume on draw notes. That's hard. On a blow note, you just need to start blow softer. Well, it's the same on a draw note, but I think it is harder. It reduces volume's power. On a draw, it doesn't seem to work for me. It's hard. I have heard a lot of this on chromatic harp. I guess it's possible due to wind savers. It's possible on diatonic. Pat was really good at it. Lee Oscar's really good at it. And I've heard the using diatonic too. Okay, there he goes. Yeah, it's great. Melisma. I don't know that word. It would be a useful topic. All right. So I'm just kind of just backing off the volume. Right? Let me try on a blow. So it can be done. What's hard is backing off the volume while doing the vibrato. Like that. Like Ben Webster, the saxophone player. That's not an overblow. That was fun. Anyway, oh yeah, Lisa, I saw that the porch kitty left. She left. She's gone. I don't know where she is. She never came back. I made her a house under the bed, her own food bowl. We lost her. She never came back. I don't know what happened. I think somebody adopted her. All right, next question. I will get to all your questions in the chat as soon as I get through a ton of these Patreon questions. Again, this video will be posted on Patreon after the live for everybody to see. Updated third position made easy. We could do that. We could definitely make an updated third position made easy. It's going to be the same video, just with tab in looking nicer, because I have it. That's the easiest way. You know what? Maybe it'll be a little better. We'll see. Always struggle. Kevin Singletary says, always struggle with enjoying the sound of the 3-whole step bend. Second scale degree and second position. Would be cool to do a video about how to fall in love. I love those words. How to fall in love with the sound of that note. Man, so that's a beautiful thing, because really, like, when we fall in love with something is when we are able to make it through the tough times. So maybe we need to fall in love with the tough times, right? That's hard. That's a life lesson there. Kevin, all right. Yeah. Let me make sure. Yeah, Kevin. Okay, if you're watching, bro. Okay, so here's the deal. So check out my video on the jaw vibrato. It's on the 3 types of vibrato, right? That helped me to fall in love with the 3-draw half step, or 3-draw whole step or half step bend. Because I really didn't like it when I was just putting it. Actually, I sort of do now. It's kind of like to me, it almost sounds like a trumpet. Woo, it's a little stuck. I can put the vibrato on after now. But for me, in the beginning, I guess, before I fell in love with the sound of the 3 double bend, I needed to put that jaw vibrato on. And I think I fell in love with that sound. And then it was actually the jaw vibrato that made me more confident in where the actual pitch is. So initially, I was using the jaw vibrato to cover up the sound of pitch imperfection, right? Being too sharp or being too flat. And then that made me confident enough, because I was playing all of those, too flat, too in tune, and too sharp, because I'm going up and down in pitch on it, to actually know where the middle one is. I think more often than not, most of us, including me, tend to overbend the note. Right? Because, there's notes in between the notes, right? In India, they have names for them. All right. Let's see. Remember, I'll be back here to check out the questions in a second. Let me get back to the lesson, to the Patreon questions. Okay. Gary Hodgson asked about, what do you need to do to tell the drummer or bass player, guitar players, key, melody, tempo, feel? Like, how do you get up and jam with a band? He's asking about. How do you count it in? How do you do signal changes, bridges, solos? How do you bring it to a clean finish? Okay, so I think this is a great question for a free Friday. Ideally, I would want the band in here to actually work with the band and have the band communicate with you, which is something we did at the Harmonica Collective years ago. Don't give me any shit about the vaping. Show me. Go check out the studies, the real studies, not the ones posted by Philip Morris, and tell me how bad it is. All right. Gary Hodgson. Yeah, man. So, like, a lot of it is, Lynn, I don't know if the Harmonica Collective will come back. It kind of stopped making money a while ago. And there's also so many of those kind of events, but now they've kind of died down. So it might come back, right? Anyway, so like the counting off thing, right? A lot of this is just listening to the music that you want to play but listening not to what your part is. Like, how's the bass line go? And maybe you'll recognize that the bass line is just a regular 6-chord arpeggio from my videos, from other people's videos. And then you can go, oh yeah, well, it's just a walking blues, 1, 4, 5, 6 chords, or 6th and 7th chords, in G. It has a quick 4, and then you'll be able to tell them. So it's studying what you're supposed to do, or what the name is of what you're supposed to do. And then, like, the drum beat, right? If you don't know the name of it, like a shuffle drum beat, can you sing it? Boom, chack-a-doo, chack-a-doo, chack. Or like if you didn't know the name of a flat tire, but you went ba-doo, 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 ba-doo. Or like hip shake, for example. When I do that with drummers that I haven't worked with, there's a lot of different names for that kind of drum beat. Some people call it a train beat. Some people call it a Texas shuffle. So what I do is I sing it to the drummer. And see what I just had to do there? I had to sing the melody to myself. And then come up with the beat. So before the gig, I would just say, well, it's a 1-chord, boogie, or, Texas shuffle, right, to the guys, right? And I might, and to the bass player, right, he'll go, well, what do I play? I play his bass line. Or I tell him it's this one. Right, so I can just play the other people's parts to them. So you should learn, like, at least to sing the parts that you can't play if you want somebody else to do it, right? And knowing a little bit about what the names of these things are, like 1, flat 7, flat third, you may not know how to do that right now, but you will learn it in time, and you can certainly learn it quicker by studying. Okay. And I'm not, saying it's going to be fun, right? But it will be fun later, because you get to talk to people about music that are not harmonica players. So you're not saying, well, it's because you can't tell the bass player it's 2 draw, 3 half-step and 4 blow. He's not going to know what you're talking about, right? This is one of the reasons I don't like doing too much tab. I want people to know what they're playing, right? All right. Anyway, so that's, and then, as far as ending the song goes too, like, hey, look, watch me on stage, watch Kim Wilson on stage. Like, we'll just put our hand up and go, ho, or like make this kind of sound. Right. Or like we'll use this saying, which means we're going to repeat 5 and 4 again. So you can use little signals. Sometimes you need to talk to the band before you play. Say, hey, listen, if I go like that, it means we're going to end the song. If I put my hand up, it means that. If I go like this, it means we're going to turn it around. But most of those signals are international, at least in the blues community. Okay, next question. Let's see. Bob Leach, who's here today, he says, I would like a lesson incorporating high-end second position, particularly in more of a blues context. I think of cats like Paul DeLay. Oh, man, he was so great. Paul's friend and mine, Arthur Fresh Air Moore, Mitch Kashmar, right? He just said Mitch, Pat, obviously Sugar, Adam, you, who do homage to the blues tradition, but have expanded it into the top end. So in Patreon, Bob, I gave you a few links to the lessons that I have talked about going up there. So Mixolydian is the closest you're going to get to the blues scale without overblows. So in the comment section, there, I think I gave you 5 videos. So some of them are the ones with overblows, and then the Mixolydian is the one that's not. So, you just have. So that's how Popper and Blue and most people go up there. So now, even though that doesn't have a flatted third in it or a flatted 5 like the Blue scale, even though it doesn't have those 2 notes, it does have a flatted 7, and it does have a 7th chord arpeggio. So you can absolutely play blues up there. Now, if you want to play pretty up there, check out my videos on the major pentatonic. So you can start taking licks in the Mixolydian or major pentatonic that you do down bottom. So no overblows. So there's a lot of blues that you can play with where you don't need the minor third or the flat third. You don't need the overblows. You don't need the 7 overdraw. You don't need any of those. You can just go up there. That's what Popper does. It's primarily Mixolydian. So if you learn the mode, if you learn that scale up there, that mode, right? You'll be able to do a lot of stuff, even noodling stuff. Right? Even that kind of stuff is going to work really good. So that's what I say, Bob, right? All right. Yeah, I've played some ska rhythms before. I will get to the questions here again. I'm still trying to get through all the Patreon questions. Lynn Wintercorn. Hey, Lynn. Something about dynamics, how to add depth to your playing by changing the volume. Oh, we kind of worked with that. Putting emphasis on certain notes to make it more interesting. Yes. So many beginner players can hit notes, but their playing is flat. There's no interest to draw the listener in. It all sounds like 3 blind mice. Not that I'm any better. I know about adding texture and warbles and trills. So yeah, a lot of it's tension for me at this stage in my life. It's like, what notes am I going to play and what notes am I not? I'm going to spend less time on the root. So I'll just take a blue scale. So I'll just give myself a tempo and I'll just improvise on that. So this kind of ends. Again, it sucks that I need to get that OBS software because that's not going to sound as good as it did here. So yeah, Lynn, just kind of like, you use the volume, like listen, Lynn, let's get some of those old War albums if you don't already have them, and listen to how Lee Oscar does that, right? He'll come in. Right? I'm just making it up. I'm just making it up. Just however you feel, right? However you feel. Probably not the best answer to that, but man, I don't know. Bob Leach. Oh, okay. He just was thanking me. And Lynn said, this might be too basic, but how do I get a fatter sound? Okay. It's not too basic. It's the best question ever. Ideas on how to get a fatter sound without mics, pedals. Yeah. Okay. Drop your jaw, Lynn. The lower your jaw is what Adam told me when I was 20 something years old. The lower your jaw is, okay, and the more naturally you're breathing and the more of the harmonica you have in your mouth, whether you're tongue blocking or lip pursing, the better your tone is. So here is me pushing the harmonica away and keeping my jaw thin, in my breath from here instead of from here. It sounds like this. Now here's dropping my jaw, putting more of the harmonica in my mouth and breathing more natural. Instead of it's the same note. So you want the lower one. That's why the tongue blockers are always talking about more tone, is because in order to tongue block, you need to put that much of the harp in your mouth. That doesn't mean that you can't get great tone lip pursing. It just means you have to be conscious of that, because lip pursers, they get the single note and then they stop. They stop thinking about it, right? Well, you got to lower it, right? You know, Paul Butterfield was a lip purser. Junior Wells was a lip purser. All of them have great tone. All right. Lesson on triplet. All right. Okay, Jason O'Sullivan, I got lots of lessons on triplets, right? So check out my videos on triangulating. Check out my videos on movable licks. Juke, Walters Boogie. Okay. Sorry, Jason, not going to happen. First of all, it's a total pain in the butt with YouTube flagging my channel for other content. Right now, the Goonies video, even though I changed everything, I talked in it, that video is flagged. It's always a scary thing for the channel, right? Like, I will win that dispute. It is fair use. I could win a dispute for Juke. But here's the thing, right? Like, I'm just going to be straight with you, and you might not like this answer, okay? I really don't believe in handing people tabs for an entire song. I don't see how that would do any good for that musician, compared to figuring it out for yourself. Besides, if you want the tabs, I'm sure if you Google Juke, I'll do it right now. I'll do it right now. Tabs, Juke, harmonica. Here we go. There's a Juke harmonica lesson from Liam Ward right there, right there. And there are tabs. Let's see, images. I'm clicking images. There are tabs for Juke. Little Walter's Juke, right? Tabs all over the internet. So first of all, you can go find them. I don't think you should. I think you should sit there, listen to the song, right? Grab an A harp in the key of E and figure it out. Pause, play, rewind. That's part of the learning process, right? And like every week I have these videos on arpeggiations, on scales and all this, and I give you tab, right? I give you tab for that because it's fine for that, because it's conceptual, right? It's conceptual. However, it's not conceptual to learn a song tabbed out note for note, right? Like, there's nothing wrong with it. You're going to walk away with the song and you can play it and maybe you can do something from there. So what, again, what do I know? Like, but I'm just saying I didn't have that. And I'm really grateful that I didn't have it, like, because I had to sit there and learn it. And then, like, sometimes I would think that I had the lick, and then I'd go back and listen again, and I'd find out I didn't. Sometimes that was a year later, 2 years later. Like, that's amazing. Like, amazing to see, like, that I had convinced myself that that was right. Right. Or, that's like part of the learning process of, like, and it's like part of, like, the humbling thing of developing your ear. Ronnie has said it too. Ronnie Shellist is like, I don't want to tap. It's not, I don't look, it's really time consuming too for me to sit here and tab everything out. And then some people will disagree, right? First of all, or I'll get it wrong, but that's not even the point. The point is, I feel like it's an exercise in futility, right? Like, the tab for the scales and stuff, that's different because you're going to do different things with scales and arpeggios. You're going to take them out of order. Sure, you could take the little Walter licks out of order, or you could look at my tabs for the scales and find out what scales is little Walter playing. So anyway, I hope that doesn't piss you off, Jason. You're one of my favorite patrons. And by the way, everybody, check out Jason's YouTube channel. While you're at it, Mal, who is too early in Australia, right? Mal has a YouTube channel too. All right, so check out those guys. All right. I told you this is taking way too long. Okay, Trevor Yayo, enhancing building from a simple melody or melodic line. I think I have a video on that. I do have a video on that. That is, well, first of all, the video just a couple of weeks ago, Trevor, on Mo Better Blues is very, very, very similar to that. Okay. And then there's also a video called, like, Building a Solo. That's, it's an older video. Maybe I need to make a new one, but both of those address it. Find the neighboring notes, find the notes that are in the chord, and then just build on it. Say our melody is, that's our melody. So maybe try it. So I'm just using the same notes in the melody and just taking them out of order, right? So it's the same thing I teach with scales and arpeggios, right? We can look at any grouping of notes, whether they are an actual scale or an actual arpeggio or not, and just start changing the order. So then I could improvise on that. See, I'm just changing the order of it using the same notes that I know. A lot of that's covered in the Mo Better Blues video. I think it was called, like, improvise, whatever that video was called. We'll have to look it up later. All right. And then now Guilherme, all right, who is the one of two people who asked for minor triads that were part of this Free Friday. He has same with major arpeggios in third. Okay, some of that's covered in my video called Playing Third Position with a Major Approach, but I definitely need to do a new video on that subject. Improvisation with second position Aeolian, third position Phrygian, 12th position Mixolydian, first position Dorian scales. Okay, so I don't use 12th position Mixolydian. Really, like, no, I just play it in second because it's a lot easier. First position Dorian, I've never done that, so maybe you should make those videos. Now, second position Aeolian, I use a little bit, right? So it's a natural minor scale in third position. So to draw, I'm sure Guilherme already knows all these tabs, right? So I think he just wants to hear me talk about it. But yes, to draw, 3 double bend, 3 half step bend, 4 blow, 4 draw, 4 overblow, 5 draw, 6 blow. Right? So how would I improvise in that? Well, I would take some of the scale exercises. and then I would just start improvising, doing a lot of that kind of stuff. Right, so I'm just kind of moving around the same way I learned how to move around in any other scale, and then just applying it to that. And that's one I rarely use, right? If I want to play in the natural minor scale / Aeolian, I would play it in third. But I hope that helps Guilherme. And he's not done. He asks how to create tension release on a 12-bar progression, e.g. flat 7 at the end. Well, there you go. You answered your own question. Putting a flat 7 at the end of every chord will always cause tension, but also just not being on the root, Guilherme, right? So just staying away from the root of whatever chord you're on will always cause a little bit of tension. And yes, 7s are one of the best ways to do that. Improvisation alternatives, arpeggios, licks, etc. on chord 5 of a blues progression, other than using 3-draw half-step bend. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that. Building phrases with tongue block splits in second position in each chord of the 12-bar progression, major and minor phrases. Same for third position. I am going to make that video on third. I think I might have already did it. Yeah, I did. Like tongue block possibilities in third, Guilherme. Did you see that one already? Right? I think I made that video. Right? I will look it up and put it there if I did. Building phrases with tongue block splits in second position in each chord of the 12-bar blues progression. All right. I could do that. I absolutely don't have time to go over it now, but those are great ideas. Guilherme, you got your video this week, so maybe you'll be okay for a little while. All right, I'll get you more. Ian Stoker, how about choosing some famous songs that have harmonica parts in them and suggesting your interpretation of the song and how you would play the harmonica on the track you've been in the band? If I had been in the band, John Popper did this in an interview once, by the way. If I win, do I get a free cigar? You can have a cigar with me anytime you're in New Orleans. First of all, Ian. Second of all, so yeah, the problem is for making YouTube videos, I have to play the song and then I have to fight with YouTube. And again, like I don't know, like I don't want to tab it out, right? But how would I approach it, right? That's kind of an interesting question. Maybe how would I have done it differently? I don't know, right? You know, like most of the time I'm too enamored with the original artist to even think about what would I have done differently, or like, could I have done it better? Maybe if I was covering that same song, I'm going to do it different. I'm trying to think of what songs I have covered that other harmonica players did that I did different. Well, Hip Shake, there's an example. That one's out of control. Yeah. All right. Oh my God, I'm not even halfway through these. Oh boy. All right. I'll get to the Q&A in a minute. Maybe advice on busking. Yeah, I'll give you your advice on busking. Create a rhythm. Have a steady rhythm. This is for fiery harmonica dude. Just a steady, relentless rhythm. It doesn't matter what the song is, as long as they can tap their foot to it. You will make way more money doing that than playing the best harmonica they've ever heard. Instead, give them something they can dance to. Harp setup advice. Yep, I talked about that before, right? There's lots of videos on that. I haven't done it yet. Fox Chase. I do have a couple of videos on Fox Chase's D-Low. If you haven't seen it, right? If you haven't seen it, let me know. And or just search Jason Ricci, Fox Chase. I think I accidentally called it Fox Trot. I was young. I was like in my 20s, right? But yeah. So yeah. Yeah, I got some videos on that. If you want more, there will be more. There is a tab for a little Fox thing in the 3 Blow video, D-Lo, if you haven't seen it. Tarot Hood, he's here today. Any advice on playing solo? How you come up with what's in your mind? Solo section changes. I think it's going to be a great one. Yeah. So yeah, again, for Tarot Hood, going back to the guy who was asking about busking, right? Who was that? Fiery harmonica dude. For both y'all, it's about a steady rhythm, right? Okay, here he is. He's saying a specification to my main question: how you go up the harp and down so good during the solo. Okay, so a lot of it is just knowing kind of the scales and what I want to do. So if you practice your scales, or if you just practice them and you just practice running them up in 2 octaves, you'll be able to do that, not just in scales, but you'll be able to go out of the scale. My 10 below is messed up on this harp. I just need to, yeah, okay. He said I recently started. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, just going up and down the scales is the key, right? They familiarize you. It's not about the scale. It's about becoming, the scale is a litmus test. It's something to do that you have to do the same way every time, which gets you used to doing it. It's like following a path. Once you know how that path goes, then you can start to take little steps off of it. You know, you go over here and grab an apple from the tree that's not on the yellow brick road, and maybe you get apples thrown at you. But maybe you find the Tin Man and you get a new friend, right? All right. Holding the mic, tips and tricks, E-Rock. I definitely have videos on that. Maybe a new video on that. Maybe a new one. I'd like more third position playing. Well, I gave you some, right? Maybe do a refresher course for us and new subscribers. That's a good idea. Today was a new one. Today was a new third position one. So hopefully that helps today. Eric Betts, this relates to philosophical approach rather than technical aspects of playing. My favorite. Thank you, Eric. I love it when you riff about thinking/feeling approaches. This has to do with how to use envy/admiration as a directional aid in becoming a better player. In Art as Therapy by Alan de Botton and John Armstrong, they say we should ask of all the people we envy, what can I learn here? If we could stick with envy long enough, we would learn to pull from its sulfurous depths vital clues as to how we might become who we are. Apart from envying badly, we are also at risk of admiring others in a way that prevents us from emulating them. A healthy relationship to one's idols involves a sense that one may, after suitable, respectful study, outgrow them. That's right. Rather than merely paying lifelong, uncreative homage to them. Yes, success has an uncommon amount to do with a capacity to use envy and admiration constructively. That's intense. I believe this is largely in line with what you have been telling us in a lot of ways. Please correct me if I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong. So I think that, okay, for Eric, I think that like in the beginning, like I don't know if I envied. That came later. Like initially I just looked up and idolized, like you were talking about. And I just wanted to try. I didn't really worry about having my own sound. I just wanted to be able to do what those guys were doing. And I didn't think like for a long time, like I didn't know that this was going to be my career, right? Like it just happened organically for me. Like I started making money and then I started thinking about like, well, maybe I could do this, right? Because I loved it. And I wanted to try it. And that meant that I had a lot of day jobs, and I went after this full time, right? And then, yes, I think there was some envy, right? But I think I was told right away, like, hey, listen, like, this isn't going to come easy. Like, you're not going to get this overnight. Like, and, and I think that what I did with a lot of that, like wanting to be somewhere else, was I just practiced hard. So it was the idea that like when I get my shot, when a band asks me to play, when I get a gig, I am going to be ready for that gig. So I would practice everything I could nonstop so that I would try to be better than whoever else was auditioning. And also I had to learn like really quickly that like my personality was going to play a role in whether or not I got the gig, and especially in whether or not I kept the gig. And those were hard lessons, right? So yes, I agree with everything that's said in there. I have had students outgrow me, right? Konstantin Reinfeld was a casual student. By all accounts, I think he is a better harmonica player than me. Now, you might like me or somebody else better than him, but in terms of what we can measure, which is technique, his understanding of melody, rhythm, and harmony, I think that in most areas of those things that he surpassed me. So that's good. That's an example of somebody taking and working hard and taking the information that they have now and going further with it. And each generation does go further with it. Somebody wrote overblows and overdraws. Yeah, Jeff Boyer, right? I wrote you back, bro. I got a video for each one of the overblows. Separate video for each overblow and each overdraw. Okay, Philip Withers wants me to do a video on my song "I'm a New Man." All right, wow. So here, again, like, I can't even play my own music without YouTube flagging me on the copyright infringement. Basically, I'm using a version of the major scale. It's basically the major pentatonic with a 4-blow in it. I have to go to the bathroom pretty soon. I should get up. All right. Yeah, let's see. I can't wait to read the comments. Now I'm going to be behind in the comments and behind here. All right. I will go over like more. If you look at like if you look at my videos on the major pentatonic, you will see every single thing that I'm doing on I'm a New Man. Okay. Basically, right? And just playing pretty in general. My buddy Carl asks, in jazziest songs, what modes or scale would you play, or positions to play like a trombone, flute, or trumpet sort of feel? Asking for a washed up musician. Okay, so that would be different depending on the song. And a trombone, trumpet, there's not like trumpet modes or trombone modes or sax modes. There's just modes, and we do them on whatever instrument we're on. And we pick those modes a bit based on the chord progressions. So I can't really answer that question. So if it's in a minor key, I would use a minor scale or a minor mode. But then I would have to look at the keys to look at the chords in the song to discover which minor scale or which minor scale or arpeggios I would use. So there's not like a jazz mode, right? Or a jazz scale, right? Like there is a blues scale, right? But like there's not, you can use a blues scale in jazz, right? So like, yeah, I guess there are jazzy scales, but I don't know what they are, right? Like, I guess there's like the bebop mode or something. I don't know. I need to learn that. But yeah, if you find out any differently, let me know. All right, Phil L asks, hey, Jason, have you got any videos on little flares? Sorry, not sure what they're really called. Little extra sounds that you make when you're playing a riff that sound really cool. Yes, Phil L, there's a video called like noises in percussive sounds, right? So like, God, I hope you guys are watching this. I really need to go back to all the Patrons. Go find it. Look, here's what you do. Search my name, right? Go to YouTube and go Jason Ricci percussive sounds, right? Sounds, right? Or things. It's on the video on breathing on the exhales only. There's a video called percussive sounds. There's all of that. Yeah, right. Yeah. Man, look, bro, Phil, I hope you're watching this, bro. I hope I remember to put the link. Anyway, let me try to get through these questions. Hey, Jason, my friend is experienced blues guitar player, so I'm 2 years in. So can you do a free Friday on how to be a harmonica sideman? All right, listen, pay attention. Be quiet. Ask lots of questions, right? Don't get in the way. Don't play over the vocals too much until you know what to do. I'll do a free Friday on it eventually. Any ideas for playing funk or R&B tunes? Yeah. Keys are always B or C minor. Might be with your band. They could be in any key. Been playing in third. Is there a better way? You can play it in cross. You can play it in any position. Funk, a lot of that funk stuff, it's just about playing cool little funky rhythms. So just listen to like, how does a funk, okay, because it's about the drums. A lot of repetition. It's about being involved with the drums, playing the harmonica, playing the saxophone, playing whatever single instrument you have, like a drum, percussively. Focus on the beat, but where does the beat drop? That's the big thing about funk playing, right? That's what all New Orleans music's about, is where does it sit? Check out my video, James, on our wait, who is it that asked that? Who asked that? Oh yeah, JP. Check out my video on oh, now I forgot what I was gonna say. Shucks. Oh man, I had it. Oh boy. All right. Check out the minor pentatonic videos. Check it all out. Right. Check it out on Playing Alone. Right. Like, all right. James said, I love a free Friday. Maybe it'll come to me. I love a free Friday on how to go about transposing horn lines, whether that's how to recognize the key, what position would be. Well, pick up your harmonica and play a 2-draw. If that doesn't fit, grab another one until you find the right one. You could also play a 1 blow, but then that would be in first and you'd have to figure it out. Transposing horn lines to harmonica. So you use your ear and try to figure it out. You can always ask the horn players, what are they doing? But I don't have anybody that transposes stuff for me. I transpose it. I do the work. I listen to the song. I listen to the lick, and then I try to figure out where it is. And then like you might learn that, oh, it's always that, like a lot of these horn lines, the one of them's on one note, the root, the other one's on the third, the other one's on the fifth, right? So one guy's playing, the other guy's playing, and the other guy's playing, right there, the second one. Right. And so I can't do them both at the same time right now because harmonica doesn't do that. Right. But that's what they are. That's what horn lines are. They're harmonies often, or they're all in unison. So if it goes ba do 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 da da, we'll try to learn. Right. And then go, okay, well, what's the third above that? Jason's videos on major triads. Well, how do I match that? And then just kind of pick the different harmonies, right? And ask the guys in the band, or ask horn players. I love a free Friday on how to, oh yeah, that's the same one. Thanks, James. Good question. How about some tuition on playing small percussive instruments when not playing harp? Get a steady rhythm. So on the tambourine, right? Where's my tambourine? Right here. I only have one tambourine beat, but it's a good one. It's just right? And I might be able to do little fills. Notice I got my foot going. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all about it being, it's the same thing with a train rhythm. It's all about steady. What is a drummer? A drummer that doesn't groove is always going doom, doom, that's fine for a drum solo, but a drum beat needs to go has to be steady. So whatever you're doing, whatever percussive instrument, it doesn't matter the groove as long as it's steady, right? Listen to what the drummer's doing. Where is he putting the downbeat? Say you got an egg shaker. Because the drum's going. So you try to put your emphasis on the same downbeat that the drummer is doing. If he's going, you try to go. Right? So you just imitate the drums. All right. Guillermo asked again. Wait. Dirk asked, how about, that was it. Last one. How to use the minor 6 pentatonic in a blues progression? I'm not sure what that is. You mean Dorian minor? I don't know. Maybe he means the 6th chord. I don't know. All right. I need to take a breath. That was all the Patreon questions. All right. Now I have a million questions here that I have to look at. A million. Man, there has to be a better way to do this. All right, Travis, right? How do you do those harps smell after you smoke and then blow into them? I don't know. I've never noticed. I don't let other people play my harps. They'd probably notice. All right. Let's see. All right. If you're still here and the question is still important, ask me now so I can be present in the moment. So I don't have to go back and read and then be missing the new comments that you're making from the ones I read. Every music teacher I've had as a kid always started with the book Progressive Steps to Syncopation for the Modern Drummer. It didn't matter what instrument. Okay. Do you want to take a quick bathroom break? Yes, I do. I'll be right back. Let me play some music though to keep you guys entertained. Right? It'll have to be a backing track so that YouTube doesn't flag me even for an unlisted video. Right? All right, let's see. Let's do it. Quist. Somebody asked about ska rhythms, ska beats, ska beat. Minor. We'll try that and see if we get Quist has what reggae blues backing track A minor. Here we go. Let me change the ad. We got to get rid of the ad for you. Thanks, Travis. By the way, appreciate it, man. Thank you. All right, I'll be right back. right, we're back. Fourth position. I don't know who did this. Somebody did this. Somebody sent this to us anonymously of Pat. We are trying to find out who it did. I'm going to ask on Facebook. My pedal board looks lonely. It is. Well, it won't be lonely tonight. It's going out. We got a gig tonight. All right. All right. Help Paul with overblows. He had a question. Okay, let's see. What's the question, Paul? What was the question? Let me see. I'll go back and try to find it, I guess. Paul, can't believe you didn't bring a bottle. Wait. I don't know what that means. Let's see here. I'm looking for the overblow question. Oh, okay. I see. I think I'm getting close to where the overblow question is. Okay. I'm glad you guys are talking to each other back here. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. Reduce it. Taro is like helping him, right? Yeah. Good, man. Thank you, bro. Learning overblows first time. My 6 overblows sounds like a train wreck. Can you break it down for me? Okay. So I'm guessing, Paul, that you've already seen my videos. A lot of it's about finesse. I didn't have my harmonicas set up for overblows when I learned them. It was a lot easier once I learned how to raise the action or lower the action on the reed, or the offset, as harmonica players call it. So a lot of it is a finesse thing. For me, it's a draw bend while exhaling. So I'm grabbing 6 draw, bending it, and then exhaling. And it doesn't take any force. All right. Yeah. No, I'm not doing any of that, Andrew. You're getting crazy in here. I'm too sophisticated for that, right? You guys are important, but this isn't like gamer type stuff. I'm not going to like sit here for 24 hours straight and live stream. Have you seen that? Anybody seen that show, Digital Addiction, where people will like live stream for like 2 or 3 days or something like that? Or like game for 2 or 3 days without going to the bathroom, right? Or going to the bathroom in bottles. Yeah, it's not going to happen. All right. Yeah. Kate's laughing. Yeah, exactly. It's just not that important. All right. Boy. All right. So I hope that happens for you. So like get in there, take an old harp. Like somebody else was saying, like, I'm afraid to emboss. Well, grab an old harmonica and try it on that, right? And then, if you do too much, just go in there and back it up. Take this, whatever tool you're using to emboss with, take an X-Acto knife and just kind of scrape off what you did until the reed pings again. I mean, a lot of this stuff is like, it's like trial and error. You're never, even if somebody tells you how to do it, even if you have a video, you're going to have to make mistakes in order to learn it. This is like what I'm talking about with like why I don't want to tab video, why I don't want to tab songs. Like you need to make the mistakes and go, oh, there's where the note is. It's like part of the process. We can't just be perfect. Even with all the study in the world, we need to go through the failures, right? That's the primary reason for success is multiple failures, right? Let's ask the Wright brothers, right? That's what it is, right? Or any inventor is, it's just failing and failing and failing. So, but as far as you don't want to fail on a nice harmonica, so find one that's out of tune, or get one from a friend that's broken, or wait until you blow one out, or go really slow. Or if you do mess it up, then write me and say, hey, Jason, I was embossing and I think I went too far and I ruined my harp. Is there any way to fix it? Yeah, sure. I'll answer that. Right. I'll answer like how to fix it. Right. But like nobody does that, right? There's no videos on how to fix over embossing. Maybe there should be, right? But I don't know. I think just learning it is good. Oh, Bob's canceling his $5 a month subscription because I took the bathroom break. I don't blame you, Bob. That was completely unprofessional. Oh yeah, Brendan Power has some great vids on how to tune and set up harps. And I think Richard Slay had a couple for a little while. Joe Spires had him up, but I think he took them down, right? Oh man. Anyway, boy. All right, boy, guys. Any more questions? Who's still here? We still have all 12 of you, right? But man, you guys filled up that chat section while I was answering all those Patreon questions. So yeah, I think the moral of the story, I could, on any of these subjects, I could talk for an hour, right? On any of the ones that I answered, right? So first, go to YouTube and Google my name, right? Like, okay, let's see if it comes up, right? So I'm going to YouTube. I'm going to type in Ricci percussive sounds. Let's see. Percussive. I just typed in Ricci percussive. First thing that came up, Playing Alone 2, beatbox harmonica, percussive noises, and blues story, all in one, right? So I'm copying that right now, and I'm going over to Patreon, and I'm going to paste that into the thing. But see, maybe I already did it, right? Maybe just search my name first and whatever the question is and see. And then if it didn't come up, then it's my fault for not tagging it correctly, like for not putting up the stuff, right? But maybe it's already there. There's a lot of these videos. And sometimes the information about what you're asking is buried in another video. That doesn't mean that I shouldn't redo the video. All right. So I welcome every comment, but sometimes, but if you look at the beginning of this, it says this. It says, I said, free Friday ideas. Hey, yo, patrons, love y'all. Help me out with a few lesson ideas for this Friday. Also, this will be cool because maybe I've already done your idea under a different or accidentally misleading title and can direct you there. Thank you ahead of time. So I see, when I wrote that, I knew that a bunch of people were going to ask for videos that I've already done. I knew that. Triplets, right? Percussive sounds. I think Guilherme, you need to start your own YouTube channel, bro. He fixed like all my tab was wrong, right? Because I was overtired. And he like literally corrected every single thing that was wrong. Thank God for you, Guilherme, right? And luckily, I don't think I got any wrong in the video. That's good. I'm still looking for this percussive noise thing so I can send this. Oh, gosh. All right. I'll do it in my own time. Sorry, guys. Let's see. Go back. On a skateboard, yeah. If you search Jason Ricci skateboard, there's some skateboarding videos. Yeah, I haven't been out enough. I need to go. I haven't been out in like 2 years skateboarding. All right, let's see what else. All right. Does it touch on percussive stuff, Steve? 61. Yeah. And the video that definitely does, besides the one that I'm talking about, there is the one on chugging on the inhale only. Okay, here we go. I found it. Now I can send this back to him. All right. Yeah, chugging on the inhale only. My favorite trick on a skateboard is probably pushing, like watching somebody push and ride that looks good on the skateboard. I can actually just watch people pushing down the street and be completely entertained if they look natural on a skateboard. That's what I like to see. Obviously, I like tricks. My favorite tricks are frontside and backside 360s, just regular 360 ollies. Those are the best. Good ollies are great too, but man, a 360 ollie is the coolest thing in the world. Yeah, my ankles are okay. I got one that's messed up. It's mostly my wrist, right? It's the left wrist, right? I've broken it a few times. Yeah. Okay, Norlando, I got the video for you, right? Here, let me put a link to it. So I'm searching Ricci time swing. All right. What is swing? How to swing. All right. So let's see, I'm going to the video. So this is a whole video on time and playing ahead and behind the beat. So again, like I'm not trying to be condescending, but like just take your idea and search it along with my name. And there's probably a video. If not, then I did. Oh, sorry, Tara. Oh man, it's easy to break things skateboarding, right? But actually skateboarding has less injuries than other sports or art forms. Thank you, CK. Thank you. On the to-do list that CK created. Yeah. Right. There's the video right there on what you were asking about on swing and stuff like that. What am I going to do to take care of myself today? That's a really good question. I already did it. I had a friend over who's in town visiting, and we went to one of those 12-step meetings early this morning. I made the bed. That was the first thing I did. I did thanks to Travis reminding me, I took a bathroom break. So it's good to take care of yourself. I might take a nap. I got students coming up, actually, so I do got to jump, guys. And I hope this was okay. I hope you liked it. We got about as many people as I thought we were going to get, so that's pretty good. I'm glad that we learned how to do this. Let's do it again. And this time I'll answer your questions in real time instead of having to go back and go to the other ones. I will share this video again on Patreon, so everybody that wasn't here can see their questions answered, so that's not all in vain. I appreciate you guys sitting through all the other questions. I apologize if I didn't answer a question thoroughly or if I didn't answer it the way you wanted. I promise that I'm sincerely telling you what I think is best. So like on the subject of tab and stuff like that, I'm willing to tab ideas. I'm willing to tab musical concepts. As far as tabbing songs, look, I did it. I did it in Mo Better Blues, but I don't really believe in it. I think you'd have been better off learning Mo Better Blues by ear, even if you learned it wrong, and then going back and going, okay, that's not correct. Anyway, appreciate you guys very much. I'm going to jump and get some more rest. Stop talking for a minute or two. I got a gig tonight. I got my brother coming into town, and I got to teach 2 lessons. And I'm going to take a shower and shave, get some clothes ready for the gig, maybe take a nap, get something to eat. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, everybody. Bye.